What's up, everybody? Justin and Tim here from ACES Conference, the podcast, coming at you live on Facebook. I can already see there's just going to be lag, but, you know, it is what it is. The reason we're lagging so bad is because we have so many guests on today. We have Tim's on, we have Andy from Call Andy, and we have Lucas from Fuji. Tim, everybody knows you, so, like, whatever. But Andy and Lucas, why don't you guys tell everybody a little bit about yourselves?
Go ahead, Lucas.
All right. My name is Lucas Acosta. Calling in from Atlanta, Georgia, the Dirty South, and co-founder of Fuji. I say co-founder. Founder because my co-founder left after 2 years. So founder of Fuji. I run the show. I guess you can call me CEO, but when you have 7 people, it doesn't really matter. We've been around for 11 years and, you know, learning every year from some fun lessons, from some hard lessons. And right now we're in Atlanta, Nashville, and then we just spun up in Huntsville, Alabama as well. So that's kind of the approach we're taking. I don't know if we'll go in that direction or not, but I'm in my comfy clothes today with the rest of you.
My comfy clothes are my branded clothes. I don't wear branded clothes outside of the office, but I wear my branded comfy sweatshirt that I showed off yesterday at home all the time. So Andy, what about you?
What about me? My name's Andy Espo. I own Call Andy Macintosh Consulting in Boston. We've been around for 22 years. I call myself the CEO. I borrow the title from, I think, Dave Tara at AgileBits, the Chief Eliminator of Obstacles, which I really like as the CEO title there. We are a hybrid managed and break-fix business with 5 full-time employees. And finding it challenging right now for sure. Everyone's on the phone doing remote support, so
yeah. So yeah, that's what we want to talk about a little bit. Is like without saying what it is, because we all know what it is. You know
rutabaga.
We'll call it rutabaga, like the episode of Friends.
Exactly. I can't remember if it's Friends or Charmed. It's one of the two.
You watched Charmed?
In the morning when we wake up, Monica likes it, so we both like it, so we watch Charmed. I can fall asleep too if I want to go back to sleep for a while.
Let's all just note here that Andy said Monica likes it, and then he immediately followed it up with "we both like it." Yeah, we'll call it rutabaga. That's fine. So with rutabaga happening, you know, how have you guys transitioned to work from home? How have you gotten your clients to transition from work from home? What do you think? You know, what are you seeing out there that maybe some other IT consultants can learn from?
Before you guys go into that, can I interject? I thought rutabaga was VPN, so I just want to make sure everybody knows we're not talking about VPN.
No,
VPN.
We're talking about that other
the global thing, the global rutabaga.
Right, gotcha. I appreciate.
Can we just call it
clear? Making it clear.
Can we call it Voldemort? Voldemort, the name that shall go unnamed.
Well, I've been calling it Beetlejuice around the house. Say it 3 times and then you get it.
Gotta be careful.
I thought 3 times was the cure.
Right.
I don't know that reference.
Home really sucks.
We're not doctors or medical professionals. Back to the text. Sorry.
So while we're at it, let's give you financial advice as well. All right, so back to the tech stuff. So what are you guys doing, like I said, to help get your clients? Because, you know, one day it was one network with 25 people, and the next day it's 25 networks with 1 person each. What are you doing to help out your clients? How have you transitioned them? How are they doing, you know, with their businesses?
I'll go ahead. I think for us it's been an interesting transition. Obviously, number one, with our on-site engineers working from home, you know, solid. We just sent a video out to all of our clients where I basically describe that unless it's an emergency, a true emergency, we're not going to be able to come on site. We're doing migrations by going and picking up the old computer and wiping it down with disinfectant wipes and picking up the new computer at the same time, taking it back, doing the migration, and then bringing it back to them, which seems to be satisfying the urgent need. And unless someone has a network down, we're not going to go there. And if we do, we've talked, the guys have gloves, they have sanitizing wipes, they have hand sanitizer, they know to, not be there any more than necessary. And, so far it hasn't been a serious issue. We've had a few people push us to get migrations done, and, it's just a matter of the logistics of getting the equipment. It's an interesting thing because most of our clients now, we move them to some versions of cloud access, whether it's Synology Drive or Google Drive or OneDrive or SharePoint. So, there's a lot of, they don't need to, a lot of them don't need to connect to anything. I think that telephony is something that could be interesting coming up, though I'm not sure. We have some clients who have called us in a panic and said, hey, can we, we need VPN access for everybody. And, with the Meraki and Synology firewalls we have out there, it's been pretty straightforward to do for them. So we've been able to give them the remote access that they need.
That's pretty awesome. All right, Lucas, you're up.
Yeah, I guess I'll replicate what Andy said too. I think we're taking this, by the day and by the week. And so, yes to everything he just shared. We surprisingly only have a small handful of clients with Synologies. For years, since Apple started putting writing on the wall about OS X server, I don't know if it's too soon. We've been moving all of our clients to cloud services already. And so what I will say, again, so I don't just repeat everything Andy said, because we're doing a lot of the same things. About 2 weeks ago, I sent out an email, just kind of a direct email to all of our clients. It wasn't kind of a branded Fuji newsletter. It was just a raw email straight from Apple Mail. And what I did is just offer best practices as they're considering work from home. As we all know, life came at all of us really fast. So I wanted to get just, a little bit ahead of the curve without, being too alarmist, just to say, these are the tools Fuji uses. If you don't have, chat software, this is what we recommend. If you don't have a video conferencing software, we've had great experience with Zoom. So more of like an advice email, not one of these general emails that's filling up our inboxes right now. Everyone is just basically regurgitating the same, we're taking precautionary measures and all this. So I wanted to just keep the email simple, helpful. And then what I wanted to do, and I'd like to hear y'all's take on this too, is just offer complimentary phone calls to everyone who just wants to talk through some options. I think it's the least we can do, given our expertise right now, because a lot of people need our help. And yes, we've been slammed the last 2 weeks. We don't know what next week is going to look like, but at least right now we've been super busy. So I think all of us on this call and those watching have expertise that we can use to help, like genuinely just help our clients. So if I can at least give a 30-minute call to clients, maybe a 1 hour call if it requires that much. What we've done among our team is kind of create a bullet list of a short agenda on what that phone call looks like, just to talk about everything. Like what are y'all doing for printing at home? Because some people, believe it or not, do have to print, as we all know, and even mail things. About a third of our client base is law firms, and they're still require some of their work to be paper-based. So conversations like that, yes, VPN, yes, remote chatting, just talking through the options there. So that's one way that we've offered to at least start a conversation. At the very least, they can see that we're being a bit more, trying to be proactive about this and trying to be helpful. Whether or not that leads to revenue, it isn't really an important conversation now. What we want to do is just be a positive, influence to the conversation, and kind of show them that we want to help them right now, regardless of, the uncertainty that's coming, I guess, weekly at this point.
I was talking about, I posted in the ACES Slack that I had helped a teacher in Philadelphia because she started a Facebook group that ended up having it's up to 50,000 people, and it's parents just sharing resources. And so I helped her over the weekend build a Typeform website to load it all into a Google Doc, because that stuff on Facebook goes by so fast. And now we just put the Google Doc at the top of the pin to the thing. So if you want something, and she organized it, being that she's an educator, she organized it so well. Shout outs to Brandy, where you can go, and if you have kids and you want to look at what's going on at 8 a.m. through 10 p.m. and it's color coordinated by grade and the whole nine, but to be able to get all those resources in one place, basically we created Google of Google. That's what I've been joking around. We created a phone book. In this day and age, it's kind of what you're saying, Lucas, is that we as technologists really need to put it out there, and our clients are gonna have issues. For example, one of my clients, Stupid Cancer. I'm going to mention them on broadcast because their ex-CEO, Matthew Zachary, is our keynote for October. Their big event, their big gala was called CancerCom, supposed to be in April, and now they don't know what to do. And so they're like, we're thinking about going virtual. We're not really sure. And I was like, hey, ACES is going virtual. I'll take everything I've learned and just pass it to you for ideas and just to help you guys do it. I don't know what I'm doing with how we're producing the show. Tim can attest to that. I was on the phone with him yesterday at 9 o'clock at night crying. But we can take that information and pass it along to you and help you out with that kind of thing. So being technologists and having that ability to Google something better, or that ability to just know one more thing, or the ability to understand a product differently than how our clients do, we have to be in front of our clients helping them with that stuff, for sure. I agree with everything Lucas said.
Well, I think to Lucas's point, it's there's a first of all, two things. Number one, there's a really fine line, and I see some companies, some of the emails, this flood of emails that we're all getting, sort of crossing over and being far too, I don't want to say mercenary maybe, but not offering something for free, saying, hey, this is the special thing we're doing. It's a discount, or sign up for this, and it just doesn't feel particularly empathetic.
Right.
That's the first. Second thing is, we were about 3 or 4 months ago. I started working on this idea to do video, and Lucas was one of the resources that I reached out to, and he gave me some great insight into what to do and how to do it. And because of all that work that was in place, other than the fact that we didn't have a lens for our new camera yet, so I had to use the iPhone, we're able to get a video done and out over the weekend, and we have a second one that's going to go later today. So thank you to Lucas for that, for setting the bar on that and helping out. And I put the one about rutabaga as the at the top of our website too, so it's out there. So it's the first thing that people see, and it sets the expectation there. And I also feel that it personalizes who we are in a way that it's not just, some company name. Yeah, there's this Call Andy company, but is there even really an Andy? Now it's like me right at the head of the site saying, hey, we're with you. We understand what you're going through. Here's how we're dealing with it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's really key, to be kind of empathetic. And we see so many emails that are coming through from all the different vendors who are just trying to sell us more stuff, and sell some more licenses of this, or here's your thing on that, and now's the time to sell extra backup or whatever it is. And I mean, it's really frustrating. I think I know that I've kind of lashed out a few times at some of these people who have called me multiple times a day to talk about their solution that they have, and I've just kind of, like on the fourth time when I finally pick up, and I say, hey, look, does your product save a job or save a life? Because if it doesn't, I don't want to talk to you. And I think that there's got to be there's like this disconnect, and I totally understand that salespeople need to sell, and that's their job. Right. But also, some of these companies where they're like our vendors already, if they want to lend me resources, I could use their phone people to call and talk to my customers and make sure they're okay. Because that's really, that's what I'm doing now. Most of my time is just reaching back out to everybody that I helped as quickly as I could the last 2 weeks. And now, people have kind of come around to the fact that this is what we're doing. We're not going to say new normal or whatever, but we are working from home. We are trying to keep our businesses going. And so now it's a matter of me checking back in and saying, hey, are you okay? Is your family all right? How's your work? How's your team? What are we doing? You've been doing it for a week now. What are we missing? What, right. What do we think we had covered that we don't have covered? And I think that, I've been working go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, sorry to interrupt. Thought you were done. What you're pointing out right now, I'm kind of like visualizing all of our sales pipelines. I feel like the vendors that you're frustrated with, that we all kind of are, the language they're using is like, they think they're at the 1 yard line. Sorry to use a football reference, but they think they're here. And so they're asking for a close, like, hey, how many licenses would you need? Right. And like you said, that's a little tone deaf right now, but like peeling that back as it relates to us, I feel like right now we all have an opportunity to really start at the beginning of the pipeline. And at the beginning, that's where the relationship is happening. That's where the trust is being built. Right. And so right now our conversations, I think, should really all be about that trust, like you said, just helping out, offering that. And sure, some of these clients and their industries are going to have needs and are going to have, IT needs and hire us for certain things. But I think you're right. Like we'll do more damage asking for the close right now. Yeah. Unless obviously there's something that needs to be done.
Technically, I am guilty of that. I tried, we were in the process of closing a deal with a client, getting an SD-WAN set up, and, it didn't happen before they got kicked out of their office. And now, I was like, hey, I got this new pricing and it's going to be great. And they're going to give us 1 month free and they're going to do this. But you got to sign this month in order for it to carry over. And now the client called me and was like, look, obviously, I can't do this. And I was like, yeah, I get it. Like, I know it's the wrong time, but I'm trying to save you later, right? And then it's just like, we also have to, certain things have to happen in our company. And I think
what Tim and Lucas are talking to is there's so much ambiguity right now with all this. Nobody understands really what's going on, how long it's going to last, what the effect's going to be, who's going to feel it, all of this. And I think that what you guys are talking about is this outreach, and the outreach relieves a tiny little piece of their ambiguity. Oh, okay, at least these guys are here. They can help us through. We can rely on them. Okay, we can breathe okay, at least about IT and technology.
Right.
Well, man, that reminds me. I just want to share that. I want to share this link. This is such good information. Justin, thanks for hosting this, man. There was one of kind of our mentors. We put all of our team members through this business development training program. I want to post this link, so wherever we might be able to do that. I'll probably just post it on my blog too. Of one of our mentors, his name is Mo Bunnell, who basically talks. He has a 4-part small video series of how to do business development during, can I just say COVID-19, y'all? Just so that people aren't asking who's rigor mortis. I forgot what you guys word. Rutabaga? Okay.
Yeah. I might bleep it out for the YouTube upload, but yeah, it's fine.
Okay, got it. Oh, I didn't consider that. Anyway, without belaboring it, because we're all talking here, it's worth watching a couple of these. It really helped me kind of pull my head pull myself out of my head last week, and so we formulated just an actionable strategy over the next 4 weeks of what we're going to do outbound. Which is tough because right now we are really busy with VPN tickets. Like, I've never seen so many VPN tickets in my life. But we're finding time, each one of us, hey, let's do 1 or 2 just outbound calls a day to help. And what we're doing is, we can't completely protect ourselves from everything that might happen in the coming months, but we can do what we can. We can share our expertise right now. So I'll post those links. He says it a lot more eloquently than I could. So
we'll find a way to get them out to everybody. I'm totally fine with that. I mean, talking about outreach, like last week, day 1, I called all of our clients towards the all of our monthly clients towards the afternoon and said, hey, how did day 1 go? Is everybody working? Is there anything that you think is going on that maybe someone didn't submit a ticket to? And then I said this on yesterday's live call with John and Ryan, that we sent an email in the beginning of the week being like, this is the time to think about, now you've been going for a week, let's think about what was missing from last week that you need. One of those things is obviously the human connection. So like, have Zoom on and have Zoom lunch where you're not talking about work, but everyone's just watching and eating lunch together. Like, that's what I did that with my team yesterday, and it was hilarious because there's 4 of us on a Zoom call just sitting there like eating sandwiches. And I didn't realize that we all eat sandwiches. Like, we usually go out for Korean barbecue or something like that.
Consultants in cars eating sandwiches.
Exactly.
Nice.
Consultants on Zoom eating sandwiches. And so, but like that kind of thing. Or Tim has mentioned this before, but like have your conference line open on, everyone dials in just so you can hear somebody, talking. You can hear people typing. You can hear people interacting. And like those are those human connections that I think that people need now more than ever. This is why I have a big thing about this whole social distancing thing. I hate that title. I hate the word social distancing because it's not this. Look at what we're doing right here, right? Like, we spend this together in a half a day to get this to get Atlanta, Boston, Seattle, and New Jersey all on one call. And this isn't social distancing. This is physical distancing. I can't caress Andy the way I would like to caress Andy, but in October maybe. But for now, I miss you.
If you're lucky.
If you miss you, Google. Oh yeah, he'll be lucky. But this is the kind of stuff that we need to do, and I think being able to explain, or not, I don't want to say teach, but give these ideas to our clients to help. And anyone who's listening who's not in IT, and you are a business owner, because ACES Conference The Prequel is all about for all businesses, not just IT. These are things that any business who's worked from home can do. Any business who work from home can do a Zoom room, can do Google Hangouts, can do Slack calls, can have lag when trying to upload to Facebook.
Well, and on, like on those lines, we've been doing a lot of stuff to kind of help that social thing. And I mean, we know that I am not an extrovert at all. But like last week we had, we started doing some of those ACN happy hours where, we had over the course of like 2 hours, we had about 25 people who popped in, said, hey, had a drink, talked about what was going on in their world. It worked out. It was really nice. We had people from all over the world. My wife last Tuesday night did a happy hour with her sorority sisters. Now they're not in college anymore. I'm not that young, but her girlfriends that she hadn't seen for 6 months or a year, they were like, oh, we can do this is great. And they sat and they talked about what was happening with their kids and stuff. Last Friday night we did one with my family, which if any of you are watching, that was kind of a train wreck. We're all going to have to work on how to use Zoom, but
we're going to talk about facilitator to participate in those family calls.
Well, yeah, and you have the the couples who sit next to each other sharing the iPad that's like below them, so the camera's just kind of like looking up their nose, and they make comments to each other, not realizing that everybody else. It's awesome, and then.
Why can't people not understand how cameras work on those devices? Why is it,
really hard.
Mom, I love you, but why is it every time I call you? No. I get this. I get only this part on camera.
Right. Well, and then we set up. So along those lines too, Zoom Rooms is actually free for the first 30 days. So we set up a Zoom room in our other home office here. So because my wife and I are both working from home, obviously. And we have a 2-year-old. And so our regular office doesn't have a door. And if you're going to do a call during the middle of the day, I know it's okay for the kids to be running around in the background and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's pretty crazy. So we put a Zoom room in there. We put a camera in there. Either of us can just walk in, hit the iPad, and it jumps online. So what we did last night was we had a play date with our 2-year-old and his daycare class. So he goes to like an in-home daycare. They have like 4 kids. You're nodding your heads like this is cool. It was not cool. It was pure chaos. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, they had the door closed. I was in my office on the other side of the house. I could hear the screams coming through the TV, but also, my kid just like bouncing off the walls.
We're going to try to do that. We're going to try to do something like that tonight. Some of our really good friends who live here in Wayne, that we see them. I see them twice a week normally. We haven't seen them. So I was like, can you get your iPad on your TV? And he's like, well, you're my tech help. You need to tell me how to do this. But like, I figured if we both AirPlay our iPods to like our TV, we could get up there and like, and then see each other and have dinner. Wait, we're getting some comments in here. My mom says, are you on Zoom? No, Mom, we're not on Zoom. It's called Mimo. Terry Hedden. Oh, hey, Terry. We are getting leads from MSPs right now, and our clients are slammed. Don't get down about lead gen or I can't read that last word.
Sales.
Or sales. Yeah.
I'll push back on that a little bit. The key word in his statement is right now. So yes, like as small business owners, we need to like reap the rewards when we can, but we cannot be reactive. So, and I'm not necessarily saying, getting down and moping around about it, but this is an opportunity to, in fact, we kind of need to be proactive and not just let the busyness kind of distract us. One of our team members, Jeremy, out of Huntsville, on our Monday Zoom call, we do that regularly anyway. He mentioned like a bar and grill in Huntsville that is busting at the seams right now because of their activity on social media to do takeout orders to a point where they've had to staff up and buy more iPads. And this is probably the most tumultuous industry right now.
Sure.
Right.
And they're busting at the seams. And that was like so encouraging to me. That's so cool. And a great illustration of, it's about how we be proactive. It's not about being down in the dumps, but looking for ways that we can help right now.
I've been fighting this idea for a while, and just the last few days, and I don't have a great method to get it out or to work on it. But maybe you guys, hey, we're here, we're all together.
Let's just do it now. Why not? When was the last time we ever decided to say something live and just then said shit?
Right. Okay, so great. Well, one of the things that I've really been thinking about a lot, and what I would like to find a way to do, is to help some of the really small restaurants and bars. Well, figure out how to do like the places that are trying to do, because so in Seattle we have in Washington State, they don't call it shelter in place because that will trigger people, but we call it you can't go out and do stuff. And so
that'll trigger
people. So we need a laugh track anyway. So, but what the thing that I'd like to do. So last week, So, yeah, exactly. So last week or 2 weeks ago, I think I shared this story somewhere, but I had like stopped in for a sandwich, and they were making the announcement that that they were closing schools here for a couple months or for a month, and the sandwich shop owner was taking a photo of the TV as the announcement was as the governor was playing the announcement, and he was almost in tears, and he was like, I don't know how I'm going to keep my business open. And so what I would like to find a way to do is to, as IT people, how can we help bring those people, those really small places that don't have the resources to do curbside service or delivery, which is really what they need to do, is to be able to swipe that transaction out in the parking lot. Like how I would love to find a way to help augment their businesses, like go set up better Wi-Fi for them, go, hook them up with whatever it is. Right. And also not only be able to do that, but also it doesn't matter if I can do it, if I can't tell them how to do, that I'm doing it, but I think
what I was thinking? I don't know why
that would be really key.
I don't know why this came to my mind while you were talking about that, but conveyor belt sushi, but for other things. Right? Because that's someone puts it on there 6 feet later, it's on a conveyor belt and there's your banh mi. And then you put your credit card in and it goes the other way and then it just comes back.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe
just don't touch the conveyor belt. That's the one rule. Don't touch the conveyor belt.
There'll be like in a car wash, like a sprayer of Lysol that sprays down or something.
Tim,
as it goes under, yeah.
Really cool from a humanistic standpoint, but the problem is that it means that you have to go there, and that means that you're putting yourself at risk, and and who knows? It does. That's to me the tension of what do we do if it's something that requires our presence on site? So we're putting them at risk, they're putting us at risk.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I think that part of that is, and I will be the last to say that there should be that there's necessary risk in doing things, because I've been running my business without, I've been working from the home office 90% of the day for the last 3 years, intentionally. And so absolutely there's risk involved, but also I think that there are ways to mitigate that risk. Hey, I will come and help you, but here's the thing. We're not going to stand closer than 6 feet to each other the entire time we do this. I'm going to do it at a time when your business is closed. So, I can come in when the owner is there, and we can, he can sit in the corner and I can do whatever, do a quick Wi-Fi test and move his router and say, boom, you're good to go. Or here's, here's how we're going to set up. Here's where you're going to buy what would it be? Like an iPod, right? Whatever the wireless. Do they still sell those?
A great question.
A Wi-Fi only iPod?
Do they still do the?
I'm looking it up right now. You guys keep talking. I'll look it up.
Wow. How do you stump 4 Apple consultants? That's funny.
Do you have
iPod Touch still exists?
All right, there we go. Exactly. That shows how many of us have used one.
Yeah, so an iPod Touch, a pair of gloves, a mask, whatever,
and a square reader.
Absolutely, and a square reader, right? I mean, absolutely, we have to be safe. There's no question about that. I'm not risking anything, or I'm not willing to risk my health.
Freudian slip.
And scene. Right.
Good.
My massive wealth and record collection for yeah, you know what I mean. I absolutely would be concerned with, and we never edit. That's the best part.
Nope. We never edit.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's something that I would like to do. The downside is we're still dealing with 200% ticket volume over what we had 2 weeks ago, and we're still dealing with trying to take care of our current customers before we can do any actual outreach. Oh, and by the way, My wife and I are both working from home and managing a toddler. So our 8 to 10 hour work days that we used to put in, we're still putting them in, but we're putting them in, like for me, I'm working from like 7 to 11, and then I'm taking a couple hours off, and then I sneak in an hour, and then I work from, 7:30 at night until midnight. So that's,
it's hard. Look,
just how we're doing it, right?
Is just because you've worked from home before doesn't mean work from home now is the same. That's number one. And the fact that you want to help these restaurants already shows a lot about your character, right? I think part of it, and I had asked this, I put John and I put Ryan on the spot yesterday about what they were doing to help people in the community, and not saying that people have to, you're busy, you have a lot of open tickets, things happen, but you are caring enough, because what you didn't tell about that sandwich story that you've told 100 times is that you bought 4 extra sandwiches that day and you put them in your fridge, and ever since you told me that story, all I've wanted to eat is a banh mi, and I can't get any around here. So
they were really good, and you're right.
Shut up.
I mean, they were so good.
I hate you sometimes.
Even 2 days later, they were good.
My point being that the altruistic part of you is there, and that you want to help, right? And this is the time where, yes, we're all busy. Like Lucas and Andy, I'm sure, are as busy as you, but we all have to. We have to do 2 things. One is we have to be able to focus on our business, right? Because our business provides us the ability to have a house, shelter and food for our family, and take care of our family, and pay for daycare, and pay for all your records, and pay for the knot ball that's behind Lucas that I love, and pay for the giant printer that's the same size as Andy's head. Like, so we need money, right? And we can't let the economy. I hate using trickle-down economics, but that's kind of what this is. If people can't pay their bills, they can't pay us. Then we can't pay our bills to pay, and then it all goes down, right? So we have to find ways to deal with that, which is part of selling the right product at the right time. I think selling VoIP to home users, or home users who don't have good internet, teaming up with a master agent and getting them internet on their business dime probably would help. And then the second part is, what can we do to help other people with technology, which, by the way, even when you do that, is not egotistical, but semi self-serving, right? Because, like, for me, I helped this person in Philadelphia. I put together a type form, grabbed the domain, built the site, put everything together, and she gave me props on Facebook. And then because of that, she read the children's book that I wrote with Michelle, The Very Sneezy Dinosaur. Buy it on Amazon. But when she read it, I publicly said, if anybody really likes this book, you can buy it on Amazon, and I posted the link. And we sold 3 copies. Now I make $1.90. I'm not rolling in the dough on my children's book.
Take it to the bank.
It's not even that. It's like this. It's like 1.
But there's only 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Wait, I get to.
But
that's man. And you don't have to be apologetic.
Something nice.
What'd you say, Andy?
And you don't have to.
Here's $5.70. Go buy yourself something nice.
Yeah. But no, you don't. Wait, Lucas, what'd you say? You don't have to be apologetic.
Yeah. You don't have to be apologetic about it. Like, we feel like finding revenue right now should be looked down upon. I'm not saying you're saying that, right? But I can tell all of us are a little like we're navigating that. Like, when do I charge for this? When am I just helping people out? And
right.
You know what? At the end of the day, when currency is no longer as well circulated, like, it is our trade that puts food on the table. So, like, maybe we're not all, planting corn and harvesting corn this year, and like trading a sheep for 2 chickens and all this. But I mean, if it gets down to it, I mean, we're actually seeing it now, right? You just said you're helping people with their website. Like, we are using our trade, our expertise as currency. Whether or not we get that in actual like trade for monetary compensation, but yeah, this is pretty wild. Everyone's using their trade or their way that they can help as currency.
There was nothing wrong with the barter system of the olden years. It was just that things got more costly and people stabbed one another.
Well, I don't think that there's anything wrong in. I don't think there's anything wrong in us being there and taking care of our clients and getting compensated for it, as long as we're not being mercenary about it, and as long as we're not leading with the financial part of it. I think that that's the thing. You know, one of the things that can easily get missed in a dialogue like this, not saying it's being missed here, is that, as you guys have already said, you know, we all still have mortgages to pay and lights to keep on and employees to feed, and you know, and children and, you know, whatever. Not me, of course. Something has to fund that too.
Right.
We all have the same existential, you know, survival issues that anybody else has.
Right.
Yeah. I've got a question. I don't know how long this is going to go, but like one thing that I think we can really all benefit from this
forever.
And cool.
This is the yin and yang. I said 5 minutes, and you say forever, and I was like, we're definitely yin and yang.
We're talking about the recording and not the rutabaga, right?
Right, rutabaga forever.
Right, yeah,
recording,
just recording.
5-6 minutes.
No, but what I love about this again is like, how can we help each other? Can we like hash out some best practices? And I think I'm going to start kind of writing some more stuff on just my blog, just to start that conversation. I'd love to and I don't know. I know by the way, for those of you who don't know, we're also part of the Mac Admins Slack group. So the conversation can also move on over there afterward if, you know, there's questions we want to share. But I like to hear from everyone, just like one random creative thing you had to do in the last couple weeks. I don't want to take Andy's from you, but you already mentioned one of them. You're welcome to share another one, Andy. But you said like to do a Mac migration, you're just going to pick up the Mac and the old Mac and the new Mac, wiping it down, and then dropping it back off at their office. That's really cool. What we just had to do yesterday, a couple of my engineers came up was with someone at home with weak Wi-Fi. They don't need like a VPN. You know, they use cloud services. So what we use for residential Wi-Fi is Eero. So to reduce our time inside their house, again, for both their risk and ours, like to help everyone. And we're about to try it. So let me know if you see any red flags here of things we should look out for. We decided to order the Eero to our engineer's house, set it up at the engineer's house, and then he'll drive it over and drop it off on their doorstep to plug it in. So that just kind of came out of nowhere, and I thought, okay, that's like one little solution we'll probably be using for the next few weeks, you know, as we need to strengthen Wi-Fi networks.
We've done several. We shipped a Synology 2600 out to New Mexico the other day for a client. They live there, and so we're going to do it anyway, but we've done several small NASs for backups. We've got right now a stock of Meraki Go equipment that we can pre-configure and either ship or drop off. So, cool. You know, we're ready for that.
For your Eero one, the biggest, if you have beacons, that's going to be the biggest problem, is having them adjust for the beacons because they need to check
That's true. Yeah, like helping them place it in the right spot.
Yeah. So we got a comment. Michael Inskeep says he's doing an email blast sent out with warnings about rutabaga email scams. That's the new one too.
Oh, yeah.
Like email phishing, rutabaga scams. We haven't put anything together about that yet.
The ones for because we're seeing them for people asking for their sign up or click here so you can sign up for your government check.
Right.
So you can get your $1,000 rebate or whatever.
Right. That's good. That a lot. Thank you, Michael Inskeep.
Yeah,
I want to write that one down. I'll add it on my next email to my clients.
I mentioned it as a bullet point in the email that I sent yesterday with the video, sort of the general rutabaga support policy video. And I think that's something that it's hard to get people to have. It's hard to get traction. We have IDAgent. One of the questions that we have, and I haven't had an opportunity to talk to like Katie there or something about it, but we know how we're selling it to companies with domains, but how do we offer it to an individual?
I can answer that for you if you want.
Sure.
Because we talked about this. So for full transparency, ID Agent is a sponsor of ACES, and they're going to be at ACES 2020. So, but while they were there, I had come up with this idea last year when they were there, and I ran it by them first because I had the same question. Basically, what you do is you can't offer lifetime monitoring on residential ones the same way you do domains, right? But you can say for $10 or $15 a month, I'll scan your email address once or twice a month. The ID Agent gives you 100 live searches on the fly. So as long as you're not going beyond that, you can say on the 12th of every month, it's ID Agent Day, and just like run through your stuff.
So you can do it as a recurring service ticket and just,
Yeah. Lois Mann says, "Hi, Justin. Stay home." Yes, Lois, I'm home. This is my house in New Jersey. I hope all is well. She's my mom's friend. See, we're getting past the IT world, people. That's
Thanks,
what it's
Lois.
all about. Everyone give Lois a virtual hug.
Hey, Lois.
But yeah, that's what I would do. I would do for that, Andy. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up because I have a call in 3 minutes. So first off, my thanks to Andy from Call Andy in Boston and Lucas Acosta down in Atlanta from Fuji in Atlanta. If you guys need help, call those guys. They're both great. They have I've given you my blessing. You can call them if you need help.
Stay safe. Wear your gloves.
Don't leave the house. That's really what this is about. I'm going to now, hopefully this works. Should be just me and Tim.
And ACES should stand for always carry extra sanitizer. How about that? I just came up with that.
I like that one. That's a good one. Oh,
it's good.
For years we've done that. Every time you left their office, you...
Exactly. Nothing personal.
Right,
yeah,
so
they know who they are.
I'm going to throw up the ACES logo over Andy. And then I think... Tim, you still with me?
Hey, I'm Buddy. I'm here, buddy.
Okay. All right, so I got just... The,
or, hey, I'm Buddy.
Hey, I'm Buddy. So it should just be the two of us. There we go. Okay, so... ACES... Vertical? No! Every time. Horizontal. Okay, so we have some new logos. Check this out. You're going to want to back up so your head's a little higher. ACES Conference 2020, October 20th and 21st, Atlanta, Georgia. That's happening live. And then Duck. ACES Conference The Prequel, May 19th and 20th. That's going to be virtual. We have the new websites up. If you go to acesconf.com, there's details there. Click on May virtual event. It'll give you the details about the virtual event where we are doing it for free, right? This is going to be pretty awesome, right? We're doing this for free. We want all businesses to be a part of it, not just IT businesses. And then there are going to be some paid tickets. If you buy a ticket, you're going to get some bonus content and some new stuff that we're working on. If you buy a virtual ticket, 10% of your ticket will donate to No Kid Hungry, a very important foundation for the Virtual Computers staff. And we're going to be doing that. And then anyone who already has a ACES conference ticket that they bought prior to everything going down, you're getting into the virtual show for free. I think that's how it runs down. Right? That sound right?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
We can always change it later, right?
No, because we don't edit.
We'll fix it in post.
Sure. All right, well, that's it for us today on Facebook. Hopefully we'll be able to do another one. I don't know. This is fun. Let's do this more often. Tim, find us some guests for tomorrow. We'll see who's on.
Okay. All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Bye, everyone.
See you.